Hello, everybody.
Good morning from Dr. J and Professor Spike, streaming to you live from Long Island, New York, the home of the New York Mets. Where's my Met cap?
Yeah, the New York,
I have it somewhere.
the New York Mets.
Are we gonna do just as
Hopefully,
well?
first place will
Are we gonna
stay.
do just as well in the second half as we did in the first?
That's my hope. I mean, when in the old days when I was a kid, it was after the All-Star break that you had to start worrying.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
let's hope. I got my Dr. J shirt.
Look at that.
Got my Dr. J shirt. Yeah, people who love. It's a great conversation piece. I wore it to the beach on Wednesday, and about 5 people came over and said, "What are these things? You know, the candlesticks." So I did a whole explanation of an up day, a down day, the open, the close, the high, the low, and it's all marked off on that. It's a very good conversation piece. And I think everybody should get one of these shirts at store.stockpicks.com.
Right.
In any event, Dan loaded Sava today at 80. Wow, Dan is loading up Sava.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's back up the truck because it's a bargain price, right?
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch at 99 2 days ago.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
And what does Big Techs have to say about Sava? Options expiration today, dragging Sava to 80. Good entry.
From your mouth to God's ear, Big Techs.
Big Techs and Dan A thinking the same way. And Dan sold all his Alberio and Sesson. Ooh, that's scary because Dan A is an astute player.
Right.
Arjun, of course, is putting the odds at 95% approval on Tuesday for Alberio Pharmaceuticals.
Fingers crossed.
95%. He raised it from 90. Spike. You might as well go to 100%.
19-1.
You might as well go to 100%. Say it's 100%.
No, you can't. We as statisticians know.
There's always that slight chance. Well, the manufacturing issues are interesting because, as Dan pointed out, they're abroad, and I think in Europe somewhere. And recently a stock was not approved, an Israeli company, because they couldn't visit the manufacturing facility in Israel. I know Switzerland is a lot different than Israel or wherever the manufacturing is, but who the hell knows? I mean,
there's no sure things.
Also, did you listen to the William Blair conference where the CEO Ron, whatever his name is, Ron Johnson or whatever his name is, I don't know, was interviewed by one of the Blair analysts, and they asked him a question about the manufacturing facilities and the more general, it's a 2-part question, their relationship with the FDA. So the CEO said, "I want to start by answering the second question first," and then he never answered the first question. Sounded like a politician to me.
Oh well.
Yeah. Patrick is giving me an alert on my Humana trend. Look, I mean, I don't have to do my own due diligence. Everyone does it.
That's the whole point. I mean, we're a community, so we could actually spread out the work on all.
Yeah, I took half the position in Humana, thinking I'd fill in at some point. I'm down a few pennies right now. One biotech scientist doing R&D for the entire pipeline. 980 million microcap company. Does sound a little on the skimpy side. I don't know where you got that information from, Patrick, but coming from you, I believe it.
Yeah, no, he follows up on the next one.
Total employees 10, executives 9. Ooh. Well, some of the executives might be scientists, just because you're an executive.
Performing some of that work out.
Yeah. During the William Blair conference, the CEO was quick to point out that the management team has many, many years of experience working in big pharma between them. He came from BMY, Bristol Myers Squibb, and he said that he had quite a few drugs approved that he was working on by the FDA while there. And the rest of the management team also has many years of experience and success in getting drugs through. And he sounded very upbeat that the FDA will approve, and he's talking already past that point. What happens after approval? What are they doing? How are they reaching patients, doctors, and all of that? So he sounded like a typical enthusiastic CEO.
Right.
But not overly enthusiastic like some we know. If you know who I mean.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So he seemed reasonable, like a reasonable enough guy.
We'll see.
Patrick is elaborating further. No secretaries, no janitor. That one scientist must be Superman. Well, maybe Ron Johnson sweeps up at the end of the day. It might be the CEO's task to keep the place clean, tidy up a bit.
Chief Environment Office.
I wouldn't go overboard negative due to that, even if that's his case, because it only takes one genius to develop a drug. So if you got the right chief science officer, you're in business. I was actually somewhat enthusiastic listening to the William Blair event. Although I must admit, I was doing more than one thing at the same time.
Yeah, well, those things can get tedious.
I wasn't listening that carefully, but I did listen. It was a half hour.
Here.
It was about a half an hour presentation. Man, how is CTX? CTXR and man are synonymous, right?
He may very well want to broaden.
Professor Omar, we like your bush. I love the bush. Professor Omar has a bush.
I wasn't looking when you said that, but now I know what you're talking about.
Professor Omar has a bush. And Professor Omar, VBIV is below 301. Does that mean just forget about it?
Oh boy! And look, did you see your other guy, ATHX?
Which one?
Athersys.
Oh, Athersys I'm out of, but yes.
Oh, look at you.
I sold out everything.
Omar says, oh, that's an olive tree. He says, forget it.
It's your olive tree. You own that one. Do you make olive oil out of it? Olive trees. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So man's out of CTXR. There you go.
Man got a divorce with CTXR as I divorced ATHX.
That's the VBIV.
Forget VBIV. I'm sure Arjun.
Why am I still in all these loxes hoping for a payday?
Well, I don't know.
I guess sentimental.
There are a lot of better things to own, probably. That's
name 10. No, name
something optimistic.
Yeah, I'm still in bcrx heavy.
Revenues for Q2, will it beat? I think it'll beat.
It'll, it surprised last time. It's going to surprise again this time, we think.
I think so. So bcrx, I wrote put options on the 16s. So today, if it doesn't go above 16, I'll be inheriting a lot of shares or buying a lot of shares.
Right.
At 16.
Well, all right. That's not too bad.
And we have a binary event on ITRM. We're down 30%. Or 3x. Oh, it's either going to be down 30% or up 3 times in the next few weeks. Gotcha. Thank you for that alert, Big Tex. Andrew's with us from West Virginia, the home of the coal miners. NVIDIA is falling.
Big Joe.
It's still 60% up, but I think it's a bad situation for now. Kramer loves the competition. Kramer loves AMD. Kramer rates it a screaming buy, AMD. Maybe we'll look at Kramer's pick. Ivan Vixen says sell everything.
She's talking to me.
I think she means sell everything, like I did.
Exactly.
Ivan Vixen, Brooklyn, also known as Brooklyn. I want you to know that Dr. J sold everything. I am now 8% back in the market, but I'm basically on the sidelines for now. I don't know what it is. I just don't. I have a bad feeling about the market. Part of it is just a bad feeling. So I'm watching for now, and I'm really watching IWM for clues as to whether to come back or not. I am in CRISPR. I am in Sava. I am in Novus. I own some NTLA. I do have a sprinkle, and I have a lot of Alberio pharmaceuticals. That's my big bet, which I may hedge some more. I'm well hedged, but I may hedge some more.
Yeah, no. Brooklyn and I are in the same boat.
Brooklyn is not on the sidelines. Brooklyn is making money, unlike Dr. J, who is on the sidelines.
I hope she's making money.
I'm not saying I did the right thing by selling everything a week ago.
See, she's making so much money that she gave the nana on you emojis.
Yeah. Okay.
And Professor Omar gave his line in the sand for VBIF, 284.
A slim chance only. Yeah.
We'll have when Dr. Arjun comes back.
Man, and Dr. J are both own very few stocks at this point.
Smart people.
Doesn't mean we're right. Doesn't mean we're right at all.
Well, I mean, I'm there's so much disappointment around, at least for these last couple of days. Gambling, marijuana, they're just, and the bios.
And EV.
He's not really doing a whole lot either.
EV has not been great either. Yeah.
No, I know. So all the things that we've been talking about are sort of. I'm not going to say that.
Everything I sold is down pretty much, except for AOL, Amazon, and Google.
You mean Apple?
I guess I should have held those. Sell everything else.
I should have held my AOL when I had it back in 1982.
When you had it back at $2 a share.
All right. Professor Omar thinks he's stuck on CRISPR. I don't think he's stuck.
Professor Omar, you're going to be a rich man from crsp. That is going to make you wealthy. You're far from.
Yeah, Dan is saying that there might be a drop down after BCRX hits with their good earnings. This has been happening, right? You know, Dr. J calls it
it's
in the
always
news. It's really sell off on the news.
Sell the news. Buy the rumors, sell the news. Seems that way.
Yeah, but it's not. But this is sell off.
Man has a point. Man has a point.
All right.
ZBH. I'm not in it, but if Andrew wants me to look at it, we'll look at it. Let's start with ZBH.
Yeah, we can even start with that if you want.
I don't know. I'm not even going to bother with you, Jen. Or should I?
No, I don't bother. Just go straight to Doctor. I call everybody Doctor. Go straight to Andrew Chow's CBH. This way we can get ourselves started and rolling.
I got Jen up there for whatever reason. So it's flat on the day, as much of the market is flat on the day, and it's found support at the 200. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look great. You know, ho hum. It broke the Zoom channel that it was in, but I think it's also broke the downward trend. So I think we're more likely going up than down on Humanigen. I like the COVID plays in general, so not a bad idea.
Yeah, well, this is the right one for that.
People keep calling me. I'm such a popular guy. So how's the market doing today? Let's take a look. We're down a third of a percent on the S&P. We're down a third of a percent on the Dow. We're down a third of a percent on the Nasdaq. Very even sell-off. The Russell is actually beating the other averages, only down 0.1%. Gold is off fractionally. Well, more than fractionally, almost 1%. And crude oil is down 0.2%. All right, so it's a very ho-hum day on Wall Street. Things up a little bit. Andrew, what is the symbol?
What the one that Andrew
ZBH. What did Andrew want?
ZBH.
ZBH, Zimmer Biomet Holdings. Okay, let's give it a look. Have no idea what they do, but they're a high flyer. Target is 191 analyst target, average target for the pretty. It leaves a lot of room to run. Ex-dividend June 25th, so the next one July or September. This has a small dividend anyway. And what else? 52-week range, 129 to 180. So we're at the lower end, slightly at the lower end of the range. Now let's take a better look at the chart.
Andrew says it's an orthopedics play like Stryker.
Okay. Oh, it's dipped below the 200, but it has a nice candle today. But in general, it has an ugly chart. It ran very nicely up to 180.36, where it started to go down in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave pattern. It kind of looks ugly, but let's see if we can find a reason to call for a turnaround here. Yeah, it came down to what looks like some area of what that might be support. I don't know. I just, not knowing the fundamentals, I can't get excited about this one. Even though it has a nice candle today, it's just an ugly. Um, I have enough ugly pictures to deal with. I don't need another one.
Today's ugly sweater day.
Yeah, I have quite a few of them. Let's look at albo. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, no, albo's the big news these days because times are running out before that.
This is where Dr. J can make a lot of money or lose a lot of money.
Make or break.
Hopefully be. Yeah, I'm still in it to win it. I have a lot more. I'm short as a hedge only. I bought the 25 puts and the 30 puts for August. And I have the 17 and a half calls. So
is today an expiration day?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It is. For the Julys.
That could be painting a bit of a picture itself.
Albo fell, not only is it in a descending channel, but it fell out of its descending channel. It's looking ugly. Nice day today, though, 34.66. Rebound. But it only rebounded to the bottom end of that descending channel. It's been retracing a lot of the wave that brought it to the recent high at 37.50. So that was 27.53, and it's retracing. I mean, it looks on the chart like it very well could test. Like it very well could test $30 Alberio Pharmaceuticals. And I don't see it happening before Tuesday, though.
No.
So, I mean, this is what the chart is saying, but unless there's some kind of iffy news on Tuesday, I see it either going way below 30 or way above the 37.50 recent high. So my target on Tuesday is $52 on Tuesday, the 12th, or after. Well, that is after approved. Assuming it's approved, $52 target. If not approved, target is probably 20.
When precisely is this announcement going to be made?
Well, it could be any time before let's say late Tuesday afternoon.
Okay. Because I don't want to get caught sleeping at the switches on this one.
Yeah, it could be Monday, the day early. It could be Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night.
But certainly by Tuesday. So by Wednesday we'll know.
Yep.
Okay.
By Wednesday, I'll either go to the bank or go to the poorhouse, one or the other.
Yeah.
Unless
you either go to the bank or go to the bar.
Unless I make some last-minute adjustments. Right now, the way I'm hedged, if it goes below 20, I'm not getting hurt at all.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes to 15, I'm actually making money. And if it goes up just 2 points, like to 38 or 37, I'm even. So
even outright. Wow. That's some hedge.
So I mean, and anywhere in between, I'm losing certain proportionate, proportionately.
That is some hedge.
I have an interesting hedge. I would need it to collapse to make money on the downside.
You need to collapse or to blow up.
Well, it doesn't have to blow up. It could just go up 10 points and I'm making plenty.
Well, 10 points at a $30 stock. I would.
Yeah, but on a PDUFA, that's not that hard to imagine.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the negative of that plenty of times.
Well, yeah, but usually you get a chance to sell at a higher number and before it collapses. I know what you're talking about. It's approved.
Yeah, KCIA, I think it was one of those that on PDUFA, it was like, oh, it's great news. And then bang.
Yeah, it's approved, and it's approved, and it still goes down. Sure. I mean, that's possible. But, you know,
there's some hope to be had from these higher lows, even though it doesn't go in a straight line.
Alberio has some really good data from phase 3 on the colis, whatever that horrible disease that children get is called, I forget. And it's really a horrible disease, and they can get relief from it just by taking a pill instead of getting a liver transplant. I think that's a big thing.
You know, you're absolutely right. There's hope that this thing could be life-saving.
Yeah, so I mean, it's always more than just about the money. But the CEO kept talking about the money that they're going to make.
Really?
Oh, he was into the money. The second half is going to be $1 billion in sales in the second half of this decade. We're going to be $1 billion in revenues.
Chris is giving good advice in terms of how to react to the PDUFA.
Who said?
Chris R is, because RMF was asking, how long would you how long would you hold the stock, even if it was approved? And the whole idea is that if we've been noticing lately that all the downturn on approval, you don't, but ultimately it's still good news, so you don't want to dump the stock altogether. So Chris is saying that, he thinks maybe sell half after hours and then half on the next pre-market, but still keep some. Because ultimately you're still holding on to a good property.
Well, wait a second. If you sell half after hours and half pre-market, isn't that a half plus a half a whole?
Well, half and then a half of the half.
Oh, half and then a half of the half. I got you.
I hope. I mean, maybe I'm reading this wrong. I tend to do that. I tend to read as a mathematician, not as an English person.
Well,
if he says half and half, you might as well just bail as soon as you can.
You also have not far away.
Bail half before the news and half after the news.
Not far after the FDA approval will come European Union approval. So that's
the twist on this particular one. That even after the news, good or bad, there's still news following. Obviously, they're correlated, but if there's good news, there might not be any reason to bail as much because you could expect another jump of good news.
And then, according to the Jefferies analysts, buy out.
Right.
Waiting
for good go on those.
So here's the story: $52 after FDA approval, $75 after EU approval, $150 after buyout.
There you go. That's if you're just a regular old investor like myself. That's what you hope for.
Yeah, look, I mean, anything, they're just numbers. Anything is possible. Or it gets a complete response letter on manufacturing issues, and it goes to $20 a share on Wednesday. All of these scenarios are possible.
So Chris says he doesn't like holding after PDUFA. So what do? You wait long enough until you get back in again, and then it's like a brand new.
You could do that. There's a lot of things you can do. We're going to look at Novus Pharmaceutical.
Yeah, and Dan has a remark on Sava, so it's good that we're talking about that now. Alzheimer's place.
We'll look at both of them.
Sure.
And Novus is creeping back up.
Yeah, it took a bit of a hit. I
Terrible
wonder if
2 days.
anybody bought in on that pullback. I'm sure a bunch of people did.
Remember on Tuesday, you said maybe we should sell now at 123 and look to get back in. Well, maybe you were right,
Well, if I was, I didn't follow my own advice.
but you were right and should have followed your own advice. It requires too much effort sometimes, right?
Well, like I said, I don't hold enough of it to stop playing these games. I'm just investing in it and waiting for the big hit.
You can't just be an investor in biotech. You have to be in and out a lot.
Yeah,
That's
the
nature of the beast.
That's the lesson. That's the lesson that I've been learning over the last year and a half of working with you.
Yeah,
And and that's why I think some of our audience clamors for other industries besides pharmaceuticals.
but even CRISPR, which I like a lot, I sold all my CRISPR only to get back into almost the full position once again. So Anvs pulled back to the trend line. Great place to buy more.
Right. That's precisely what Arjun said he would do. He said he would sell till it hit the 9. Actually went past the 9 this time.
Yeah, but it went to trend.
Yeah, but it did go to trend. That's fine. Good on him. I hope he did that. If he did, then he.
I've been buying. I also like Dan. I've been buying some more, but I'm not loading the boat. I'm more of a nibbler.
Yeah, no, I was liking Sava better, only because Sava's, except for what happened here, Sava's a bit more stable in terms of how it plays along the line.
Sava is a lot scarier than
all that stuff that's happening off the trend line is extremely scary. But some of that is in reaction to the fact that now the FDA is second guessing themselves over Biogen.
Yeah.
And so we knew that there was going to be some sympathy on the. We knew that when Biogen got approved, there would be sympathy on the upside, and then once they sobered, that Biogen would suffer. But I was thinking that because these guys had the real thing, they wouldn't suffer as bad in terms of sympathy. But I was way wrong, because you could see right here that whatever's befalling Biogen is befalling these guys as well.
We have what looks like more or less a double bottom right around here, $72. That's one possible area of support. And it looks like it's in free fall, so I'm not loading the boat on this one. If anything, I nibble.
Yeah.
If anything. Anvs looks much better to me on the chart.
So then says Sava has big 9-month Alzheimer's data, July 29th. No Alzheimer's drug has ever been effective past 6 months. So yeah, we'll see. If this is the real thing, then it's going to recover.
Well, it's July 29th. Sounds like it's around the corner, but in terms of the stock market, it's forever. So it could come down to the 50 before we get that news, or close to, or which is essentially my $72 level.
There you go.
That's where the 50 will be.
Well, I hope that won't be necessary, but if it is,
I can see $72. $72 is an entry point where I might load the boat.
Okay.
Not yet. Not yet for me anyway. Anvs took a little fall as well.
Yeah.
Not quite as big a fall as Sava, and it's flirting with support. It's flirting with support. What can I say?
There was one other that's worth looking at. It's INMB.
This one also looks like it could go all the way down to the 50 at around $18 a share. So
How much?
once it breaks support, it hasn't totally broken support. It's still touching, but once it breaks support, this area of about $18 a share looks like possible, if not likely. So I could see further weakness in sava and anvs. And I suppose if there's weakness in those two, there could be weakness in anvs as well. So for the short term, anyway, it could be some further weakness. What we looked at CRISPR? No.
No, we didn't. And then we have some requests for anvs because of the moves today.
Sure. CRISPR and Intelia and
edit.
All have similar collapses recently off the highs. So this one went as high as, was flying really high, 163. Looked like it's going to 200. Instead, it came back all the way to the 150. 100. We're going to get a positive cross. And we are at support. This looks like a good place to be buying CRISPR. I've been buying it. Re-entry has been a slow process for me. I will continue to re-enter by buying bits and pieces of CRISPR. I don't want to be without this one for the long term because I think this is quite possibly the Amazon of biotech. Very high on this one. Professor Ma, this one's going to make you wealthy man.
Well, you can see why he's crying now.
Our opinions are strictly our own and do not constitute investment advice. You have to do your own due diligence, check with an advisor before acting on anything we say. We have some brilliant ideas and some really terrible ones. But mainly brilliant. Most of them border on brilliant. Brilliant is the word. Sometimes not so brilliant, but we've had some tremendous picks. I think CRISPR is going to be a good pick. And I think this looks like an ideal support area to be buying. So I like CRISPR right where it is. I think we're going to get this positive cross of the 50 with the 100. That looks pretty good to me. And where's the 9-day? I can't even see. 9-day is above the, I don't know where it is. There's a 9-day.
It's still above, yeah. No, it's hanging on to its bullish posture for the moment.
Yeah.
But that is some slope on the 9-day.
Yeah.
Almost says he's bailing at 119.
119. Well, you're going to get support right in here at 113 as well. There's no reason. I don't think there's any reason to bail. I think this one you have to be a believer. If you're a believer on this one, you add at 113. You don't bail at one. You don't bail, period. Just like you don't bail from Amazon or Apple. I don't see this one. You can be an investor, Professor Spy, because it is a long-term play and a takeout possibility along with Intelia. I mean, they have partnership agreement with Biotech Pharmaceuticals and with AbbVie. One of them could easily snatch this one up, or some other big pharma. I do like CRISPR for a takeout somewhere down the road. And I think you got areas of support all the way down to $94. And even though it's a ways down and you'd be losing money on the way down, if you average in on this thing slowly, eventually it's going to come back and make new highs. in my humble opinion. So I like this one. And Telia is another one that Jeffries mentioned as a takeout. This is the one that had success in treating a rare liver disease through gene editing.
Right.
This one is up to
and that one's still above the gap, luckily.
We're up today 1.61%. It's been in a downtrend. It's been in a downtrend. No disputing that. But the 9-day is way above the 50, way above the 100, way above the 200. Extremely bullish chart with this gap up. I said way back it's not going to fill this gap. I still maintain that to be true. I'm looking at support right here. Maybe $105 if it does sell off. I mean, it's possible if it sells off, if the whole market sells off, we do fill the gap. But if so, as an investment, you just keep nibbling at this thing. So the idea is not to go in big, I think, but to average in. That's my idea. So I like this one. Look, it could have bottomed yesterday, and I hope so. But if it has more room on the downside, so be it. Doesn't bother me. What bothers me is if Alberio Pharmaceuticals gets the CRL, that will bother me. That will bother me.
Do you want to look at
ATHX is the request?
Yeah, because we're going to have to go in a little while and make it an early show.
All right, so we'll do one more after this.
Yeah, we could. I mean, we could do one more theme.
Maybe Tilray
EV if you want, or gambling.
Tilray and Sundial, or Neo and XPEV, or something.
Yeah, we could do either EV or. Let's see if anybody has any specific requests in terms of industries. Either EV or marijuana.
Athesis, you're waiting for Kajimoto Hardy, the CEO of Helios, to release data on an odd study, which must have been done for you. Must be over by now. 5 patients in the entire study on COVID odds. It's hovering right about this wall of support. And if it breaks through that wall of support, you need a net. So you got to pray. At this point, when it goes below 140, start praying.
Yeah, well, it's below 140 now. It's like 138 last I looked.
You got to pray. You go into prayer mode. Prayer mode. I got tired of praying so much. I got better things to pray about.
Right.
So, I mean, look how close we are to the $1.13 low. It's scary. It's really scary. I mean, we may retest that low. So that's why I got out. I said, enough is enough. I'm at the mercy of Kajimoto Hardy. And I just had enough. Delay after delay after delay. Opportunity cost. So personally, I had enough. Doesn't mean I won't be back in. I could have decided any moment I should buy X amount of shares, maybe half my original position. I might just do that because I still know the potential of the ischemic stroke study. But we're not going to really know anything until the end of the year on the ischemic stroke study. And as you know, that's like an infinite amount of time when it comes to the market. So athesis at this point is, I already sold mine, but at this point, it looks like a hold, and you got to be ready with more cash if it gets to 115.
Okay, right. Just keep filling that hole with cash.
Yeah, you got to be ready to add. If you're in it to win it, if you're in it to win it and don't care if it goes to 115, and you're ready to come in with more money, then this is a great stock to own.
Let's do the Russell. Last time we looked, we were still at a point of inflection, and Professor Omar thinks we may see signals of a bottom.
A bottom, okay.
Because are we still on the weekly? We're still on the week. Are we on the weekly or the daily? Actually, the weekly is a better view anyway. Draw the trend line of the bottoms, he suggests.
On the weekly?
Probably not. He's probably working with the daily, but it's good to look at the weekly anyway. No, he wants to do the daily, but we're definitely at a point of inflection. The question is this going to go all the way down, or is this sort of going to turn? He says if you do the daily and then look at the bottoms, look at the lows, you might see something.
All right.
So you're on the weekly still.
I know.
Okay.
The thing that I'm on in it, but
yeah, you might as well. You're right.
So we're looking at a double bottom here at 207, and the top of the trading range at 235. 207 to 235. Today we hit, this week we hit a low of 215. Now we're at 218. What is that, about midway? Not even midway. Not even midway in the trading range. So from this picture, to me it looks like trading range bound. So I repeat my comments from the other day when we were on with Arjun. You buy as it approaches the top. You sell as it approaches the top. You buy as it approaches this double bottom. And if it breaks in any direction, then you first go in. Or,
all right. The line he sees is if you look at all those all those lows are sort of increasing a bit.
Well, yeah, even on the weekly, you're getting a series of higher lows, which is good news. But let's take a look at the daily. I'm going to take a look at the daily.
Sure. All right. Well, look. At least we have some people out there who are optimistic.
Well, Professor Omar oscillates from optimistic to pessimistic.
He does. He's more moody than I am.
Yes. So.
Yeah, we see it, Omar.
It depends on maybe the weather.
Maybe the day in the calendar.
We're about to break trend, Professor Omar. That's not so good. If we break below this trend line, I don't think that's such a wonderful thing. But I see what you mean. We have a higher low here, higher low here, lower low here. But from this point on, higher low, higher low, lower low, lower
Yeah,
low.
I know. I mean,
So
I'm
Professor Omar, I'm not saying quite what you're saying. Don't see that, but I do see higher highs also leading leading to the high of the year, or leading to this high. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave sequence down, and we're flirting with the trend line support. If you draw it this way, of course, you draw it differently. But I have 3 hits. I have 1, 2, 3 hits of the trend line here. Actually, another hit over here, and a couple of other hits. So this is definitely a trend line, if you want to draw it this way. And I think it's more in danger of testing the low end of the range than the high. So I'm looking for 208, 209 before I go long IWM. And Professor Omo, you're calling to go long now?
He's calling a bottoming
Already. That yesterday was a bottom. It could be. Look, anytime you have a bottom, it could be the bottom or not. You know, it's potentially a bottom. Potentially.
Yeah, he says a lot of it depends on today's close.
Potentially a turning point. There's a lot of trend lines you can draw. You can also draw this trend line.
But he actually gave you specific dates if you want to do it, but we'll let everybody do that as homework. Okay.
Going down. You see, you can draw that trend line. What did you want to end the show with? Neo?
BCRX. People ask for BCRX.
BCRX.
And then we'll end the show with that.
Sure.
Short but sweet today, guys.
BCRX is up 3 pennies. I'm going to make half my profit on the July puts, apparently, because I get 45 cents a put, and I got to make about half of the profit. So it's not bad. I'll take it for holding it a week. We're definitely at strong support levels right here at 1520, and right now the 9-day is serving as a little resistance. The 9 is above the 50, above the 100, above the 200. I kind of, even though we're in a little bit of a downtrend, I kind of think we hold this 1520 area right through earnings. I don't think we go lower than that. And I'm not sure that we're going to take out this top at 1774 until earnings either. So I kind of think we're range bound, just the picture that I drew before, like 15 to 1775. And I could draw a trend line going down.
Yeah, I mean, you can even have a pennant going.
I could draw this trend line going down.
Right. Yeah, well, no, you push it to earnings date because that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it comes down to August 18th. When is earnings?
Around there.
Yeah.
My understanding. Or late July.
Yeah.
I haven't looked in a little while.
I kind of think that earnings is going to push it one way or the other, and hopefully up. I don't mind owning this. I'm just taking the shares that they give me below 16. I could buy my put back and make a few bucks and not take the shares, but I'm going to take the shares.
Yeah, might as
I
well.
also have calls that expire today. They're $5 calls. I'm going to take the shares. So that's good. I'm going to shell out some money on BCRX today after the close. That's it for today.
We just have a quick buy seller hold on Neo and XPEV without a chart.
Yeah. So as always, remember that our opinions.
Nobody heard what you said. Did
We
you say
we
hold?
need you to subscribe. Give us with friends about us. Check out the merch. If you want, you're gonna. I tell you, 5 people came up to me at the beach, and they flirting with me. No, they just wanted to know what the hell this is.
They recognize the name Dr. J.
I'm not gonna lie. There were no beautiful women flirting with me. There were mainly old men saying, "Hey, what is this?"
People in the stock market or basketball fans going, "What are you doing to sully the name of Julius Erving?"
Yeah. News.
So actually, like I said, nobody heard what you said about XPEV and Neo. You said hold.
Facted D PNH trials is news on that is coming, I believe. So we're going to get news on that. Oh, news on the weekend was great. Okay, thank you, Chris. Factor D means money.
Yes.
Hi, so this has been Dr. J and Professor Spy coming to you live from Long Island, New York. We want to thank Vibrant Vixen, Chris Lundgren, Dan A., Professor Omar, Andrew Chow, Sean, everybody who showed up today to share in the commentary, contribute to the show in a meaningful way with their comments. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Patrick. Who else? I hate to miss people. Who did we miss? Well, we'll thank Jigglypuff, even though he's not here. Michaela's here. We have a lot of people showed up today.
Yes.
James
We had Vibrant and we had Eyes on the Money.
Man showed up, and Pablo showed up, and Hatim Kadi and Diego was with us today. Adios, amigos. Weekend, we'll see you same time, same place on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Make money. Stay safe. Ciao.